Hi, my name is Pierre. I'm from Alarm Tech, and today I'm going to show you how to install your own alarm system. Starting from the components, unboxed. The first thing is planning. You need to know where to put your equipment. Your control panel must be protected, and all the cabling requirements that's required for a power, siren, and any wired devices. First of all, you'll need a couple of basic tools. You need a drill machine. You're going to be using a SDS 5mm concrete drill bit, side cutter, and minimum a 3.5mm flat screwdriver. Once the holes has been drilled, I'm going to use a 5mm wall plug. It's made of plastic, and a 25mm self-tapping screw. My plug that I'm going to be using for the alarm system is close by, so the wire run will be just a couple of meters and will make installation easier. On the metal box, as you will see, there's a lot of cut out holes that you can punch out with a screwdriver. They're all around. So depending where you're going to place your control box, also keep in mind I'm using a 5050 control panel. There's going to be antenna sticking out once the panel has been fitted. So don't put it too high, put it eye level where it's convenient to work with. Decide where your cabling is going to come in. I'm going to put it on this side, so I'm going to prefer that my cabling comes from the bottom. On this side, I'm going to punch out one of the tabs, take it off, and then carefully leaving some space on the side, I'm going to mark the control box out. I'm going to put it nice and straight, mark 4 holes. Ready to be drilled. For this installation, I'm going to be using a K52 LCD keypad. To open it, take your screwdriver and slightly but gently open it, changing your screwdriver, lifting it through these 2 holes here, and then separate the back plate from the keypad carefully. Keep on using this foam plastic. It will protect your keypad from scratches in the meantime while you're installing your system. This down, and there's a couple of holes you can mark out. I'm just going to be using 2 of the holes. Again, get it to a proper position that's nice and easy to work with, and mark your holes. 2 of them. Next is I'm going to fit the transformer. On the transformer, most of the transformers got 2 screws. Loosen them and gently take the front cover off. Next is to mark the transformer. Be careful for your existing conduit pipes running inside the wall. If you put it like on top of it, there might be a risk of drilling into the conduit piping and thus damaging the electrical cables. Most often, put it next to the plug, make sure your lead will reach nicely, and again, mark the holes. I'm just going to put 4 of them here. And that's it, and we can drill. Next step is to fit the control panel itself into the metal box. With the plastic bag with ancillaries, you've received plastic standoffs that will space the control panel from the metal box. To do that, take your metal box, move your panel around. You'll see there's many holes there, but only a couple of holes that will line up on the corners, especially where you can see there's light coming through. You know your panel is centered and you are ready to push the plugs from behind and put one by one, you put them in. Okay, last one. Next step is to gently push the control panel down so that it will clip into that plastic standoffs. The center one as well, carefully. And you will see your antenna will also line up with a hole on the outside where your antenna will go through. In all of the sensors like the PMD2s and the wireless door contacts, wireless keypads, if you look in your installation manual, programming manual, there is place for the worksheets where you can put in the stickers for future reference. So I'm going to take out the sticker from this passive. On the bottom of the passive, take a flat screwdriver, put it in and gently twist it, and you will see the passive back cover will come apart and separate. Remove it. There is two serial numbers on the sensor. One can be torn out, so carefully take out the serial number, and I'm going to start from zone 6. Reason why is the control panel's got 5 onboard hardwired zones. I'm going to keep that for future use, so I'm going to start from zone 6. So my worksheet, I'm going to use zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and zone 6. I'm going to place down a sticker. And I'm going to do with all the wireless passives I'm going to be installing. For the magnetic door contacts, you will see on the long side it's got the little square. That's also to take a screwdriver, put it in gently. And not too hard, it was almost too hard. And again, the two pieces will separate. Also serial number inside. I'm going to also take it off and stick it into my worksheet. This will be much handy when it comes to programming for reference. And do that with all your door contacts. That's it. At the bottom of the keypad, you will see that it's a small punch out. I'll try to show you here. It's a punch out that you need to knock out for your wires to put it through the keypad here. I'm going to do this at the bottom of the keypad. It just looks neater when the wiring is coming from the bottom. So I'm just going to use my screwdriver and force it out like that. Show it nicely. Okay, let's fasten it. Gonna put in the top two screws because the panel's got nice big holes that the screws will go through. Okay, I've already now put my cabling through the back of this wood panel and I'm going to apply glue. This is specifically designed for cabling, for alarm cabling. This glue dries within like 2 minutes. So before I even work here, I'm going to neatly, you can use the back of the glue also to make a small line. As you can see, it will make like a grey line for the straightness. Then you can glue, just put a little bit, not too much. Put a small line of glue. Just up to there. On the inside, I'm not going to worry yet. Don't cut your wires too short. For a keypad, more or less, I'm going to use that much. So I'll cut it off. Straighten the cable first. And then push it through the back bracket. Okay, just a little bit too long still. Trim it a little bit, and then I'm going to turn this cable, the sleeving, going to remove it by applying pressure onto the cable sleeving. It will come off easily, like that. Don't do it too short, then you will struggle to work with your cabling. Keep it nice and long. Easy to work with. To strip all 4 cores simultaneous, apply gentle pressure and pull back, and that's it. For the keypad wiring, let me just adjust this. You will see it's marked Z1, a PGM, red, black, green, yellow. You will just need to connect the red, the black, green and yellow. That will be connected to the combos on the control panel. The zone input, example, use that if you're going to put it next to a front door then that front door cabling can be connected to Z1 and black. But we're not going to use that now, we're just going to connect the keypad wire. Okay, get it right. I'm going to put red first. So, then we fold the wire away nicely, hook it in on top, press it close. Now about 2 minutes has passed by, so we're going to glue this cable nice against this wall here. It's nice and straight. Let's do this. So, connected. Transformer wiring. Transformer requires 2 wires. We're going to be using the 0 and the 16. The control panel requires 16 volt AC to operate with. So let's strip this cable. Let's do it like that. And let's give it a knot here. Like this. Should for any reason your transformers will stop working or something, on top here is a fuse. If this light goes out, either the fuse is blown or the power supply, the transformer is faulty. But mainly this is a fuse inside here. You can pull it off and remove it, but let's leave it there. That's only in case that happens. So then we can close it and glue the wire and complete this wire here. See? I installed my siren wire. I'm also using a 0.5mm ripcord cable. On this cable, if you feel with your finger on the phone, you'll feel that there is a slight edge on one of the cables that you can use as a reference point to your positive and negative. So I know this is my positive. Do this and make a mark it by making a knot on it, like so. And you know in the future what is positive and negative. That way. Use a little bit of electrical tape. Slide it. And then we can drill holes and mount the siren right where we want it. Next we're going to start wiring the control panel. This wire in my hand is the keypad wire. This is a siren we connected, and then I'm still busy with the transformer cable that needs to drive first. So let's start with a keypad wire. Make sure it's outside, it's nice and the way you like it. On the inside of the panel, make it long though. You don't want to cut it short like that. Keep the wiring like a long distance, like panel length and a bit shorter like this. Cut off the excess and strip the cable. Together. Remember that red, black, green, yellow? We're going to be connecting that now to the control panel. If there's any expansion boards like the ZX8 SP, PGM4 modules or anything else, that needs to be connected here as well. On the same terminals the keypad is being now connected. They are marked the red, black, GRN and yellow for yellow. So keep it like that. Make sure it's tight. So that's all we're going to connect. Now we connect the siren. Okay, let's keep it neat on the side. Okay. That positive, I'm going to mark it again here for future reference. Cut that one short, nice. So no connections, you've got your bell, plus and minus. So siren red. Negative. Here's another thing before I tighten here. The control panel comes with resistors. Now if you notice your siren is making a ticking noise, you need to put in a like either the 1K resistor or a 2.2K resistor across the plus and minus here. I think I'm going to do that because I know many times it will do that. The reason for ticking is more for the panel supervisors to silence. You know, if it's disconnected, it will give you a trouble indication. And let's do this one. Like this. Okay, I'm going to do the transformer cable quickly. Okay, the transformer cable, it's got no polarity, so you can cut it straight off and connect it. And this transformer cable must be connected to the AC and the AC marking on the control panel. So just going to Ethernet wires. Okay, for today, this is the only cabling that this panel is going to receive. All the other passives and sensors is wireless, so the zones we're not going to use. I decided to add a 2-channel receiver. The receiver is from Shear Electronics. It's quite reliable and I like the Shear Electronics actually quite well. I'm going to connect to arm this on and to use a panic. Okay, I've got only 4 core, so I'm going to wire the first 4 wires. Most gears normally close. And then the power. And this receiver has got delay settings for your relays. You will need at least 3 seconds. Like this one I set here, it's for 3 seconds. On default it's 1 second, but you need to move it to 3 seconds, else the pulse might be too short. Like that. And then we'll leave it open because we still need to program the remote controls. And this cabling, I'll take down that side. So that's my power cable. Power up. Okay, I just used the green and white. And the good thing is that once you've done the wiring here, you can mark it with masking tape. Just for future reference, if you need to work here again, you will know exactly where each wire needs to go. That's all actually important. And then I'm going to need the resistor still for this. So let's do this quickly. Commons. It does not matter which side you put in, but here you're going to see there's a Z, a C for common, and another zone. So it doesn't matter which side, which color you put in there. So the common's one side, and then I'm going to need to put in a resistor this side and a resistor for this zone. We're going to be using the 1K resistor, 1 kilo ohms, 1000 ohms. That one, and this one, and trim it a bit. The joints, you can solder it when you're done, because in a few years time corrosion will take place and it will become a dry joint, so this needs to be soldered, absolutely necessary. And that's it. Now we can just close up here, put in the battery connectors and battery that will fit in here. This cable's got the connector, it's a bit, let's do this. Adjust this, okay. The battery's connector, it's got an edge here, a ridge, and it will fit together with this plug here so that the ridge slips in there. So that it, pull it out, must fit in there. You'll notice if you connect the battery, the alarm system will not come on. It's designed that way. You will need to apply the AC power before the panel will start up. So for now we're gonna make all the cabling neat. Put it nicely away here. This. Like this. And then we're gonna continue to do the programming. Remember, we used the serial numbers that we stick in a programming manual. So next step is you're going to start programming the system. But you would have needed to fill in all these digits here. It will show you the partitions, what the zone must do, is it disabled or how it must function. On this page here, it shows you exactly, if you put in a value to the zone definition value here, that value corresponds to this table here. So for a normal door that you need the entry exit delay, you're going to program as a 0-1. A follow zone, that is the indoor passive. Once you open a door and that passive needs delay, it must be programmed as a follow zone. The reason for that is if they break in through a window, your alarm system will go off straight away. There will be no delay times. Further, there's many zone types here. Mostly we use 0-1, the follow, that's 0-5, 0-8 for instant, 0-9, or if you press stay on the keypad at night, all your zone types 0-9 together with your 10s will switch off. So the stay zones work 0-9, sleep zones for 10. Further on, we're using a key switch and panic button. So we go down the list, 24-hour hold up, we're going to program in a 17. For the key switch, we're going to use as a momentary key switch, that's number 26. So let's start. I've got zone 1, I'm going to make the arm this on. Zone 2, I'm going to make panic. So I'm going to enter programming mode. I'm going to press enter, 4 zeros, that's the installer code. And then he asks you a section, bracket and a bracket. That section refers to that section 001. Throughout the manual, it's in brackets. That is what he's asking you here. So the system wants to know what section do I need to program. What must be programmed in there. So I'm going to go to zone 1, 001. Now it tells me what is programmed in here. 00 means disabled. 1 is partition 1. And then I've got zone parameters. That means, let's look at it quickly. If 1 is on, auto zone shutdown. But that needs to be enabled in another place, so by default it's actually off. If 2 is on, the zone is bypassable. 3 is on, for wireless zones it will be RF supervision. And if 8 is on, it will be a force zone. That force zone, guys, please be careful. Example, if you arm your system and your back door is open, it will bypass that zone automatically. So I prefer 8. Okay, let's start over there. 001. I'm going to make it the panic. What I say? Panic doesn't matter. I'm going to make that a zone type 24-hour hold up. It's a 17. It must work partition 1. And then like that. Next one is momentary key switch. I'm going to make it a 26. That key switch must work for partition 1. And then the parameters, you can just go from that. Now zone 3, 4 and 5 I'm going to leave open. I will reserve that for hardwired sensors. So I can go clear. And I can go straight to zone 6. That 06 I punch in here. It is that in brackets. My cameraman is a bit out. Come closer. Oops. That's 006. That is for zone 6. So what is it asking me? I want all those sensors to be instant. So I'm going to program all of the zones. 08 for instant. Sorry, 08 instant. 08 partition 1, and I want that number 8 off. Enter. Automatically it will advance to zone 7. So I'm going to say again 08 your instant, partition 1, and switch off that 8. Zone 8, 08, 1, 8 must be off. Enter. 09, I'm going to go instant again, partition 1, switch off 8. Zone 10, 08, that 8 must be off. Sorry, partition 1, 8 must be off. That's all I need to do for now. Next step, the system wants to know if you've got wireless sensors. Now we're using from zone 6, we've added wireless sensors. It needs to know the serial numbers. So starting from 061 in the manual, so just go to here, filter, starting from 061, zone 1, it wants the serial number. That serial number, so we're going to start with zone 6. Remember I put in that serial numbers in front here. So it's zone 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So for zone 6, I'm going to go 0, 466. Serial number, you can either use the tamper, press the tamper in and release it. Automatically the system will scan it and show up here. Else, my passive is not actually fitted yet, so I'm going to punch in the serial number. Now this one is 105041. It advances the next one, so I'm going to go 231039. Next zone 103216. Next zone 231021. Next zone 237052. Next zone, this last two is door contacts. Actually, I'll show you another thing there. 237170. You will notice, you can get close to this, there's a +1 at the end of the serial number. Let's say, for example, you're going to use this door contact on a gate and you've got a hardwired contact wired into this door contact. It's got a wired input actually. If you're going to use that input, that last digit, that 70, that 0, you must add a 1 to that 0. So your serial number will become 171 at the end. That will tell the system that you've used the input on the door contact. So if it's without the magnet, you use the +1 on the end, and if you're using it as a normal door contact, you just put in the serial number as is. Next, you can continue to program zone labels. There's many other things, but mostly the system is pre-programmed. A few settings like siren. You want the siren to squawk when you arm and disarm it. Location section 704. So we're going to go clear here. We punch in 704 and we can see enabled, disabled, what is on default more or less. So already the bell squawk is on this arm is disabled. So I want number 4, I want to be off. So to switch number 4 off, press 4. If any other functions you want to change, you just press the corresponding number and it will change as you like. Once you've done that, you press the enter button and it will advance to the next option. But if there's nothing you want to change and you're done, you can press clear and press clear again to exit programming. I see the trouble is on. Mostly time and date needs to be set, or if there's anything else wrong with the system, it will tell you that. So press trouble. It tells me number 8 is a problem, and that seems to be the only problem. So I'll press number 8. I can put in the time, that's, I'm going to put it in roughly now, let's say 14:50. Date 2017 07:04. No trouble, 100%. So now we can continue and fit the detection sensors. To program a REM2 remote control, your green button will always be disarm. If you do not want this function, you must set your user code to ARM only code. Then this button will not work. But essentially, if you look at the programming, I'm going to program location 610. Now what it's asking you here, what must the lock button do? What must button 1 do? The 2 buttons, and if you press them simultaneous, the 1 and the 2 dot, what must your remote do? So you can see your red one, that's the ARM, 1 dot, number B, 2 dot, number C, and 1 and 2 simultaneous if you press them together. To get the data, just on the page just before that, here you can see what your buttons can do. So I'm going to want my red button to regular force ARM, I want button number 1.1 to stay on, and I'm going to make the 2 dots to sleep on, and pressing simultaneous 1 and 2, I'm going to make panic 1. So let's program that in. So I'm going to go to section 610, enter your installer code. The section it's asking for, you punch in 610. Now once you program 610, it will change all the remote controls, what you're going to program in here. So the first digit, I want that to make the regular arming, that's at number 2. Oh, sorry, no, that I made a mistake now. We'll go clear, 610. The first digit, the regular force arming, it's a number 1. Then the 1 dot I wanted to make a stay arming, it's a number 2. And then the sleep arming is a number 4. And for the panic button, it's a number 8. The rest of the digits is reserved for REM-free remotes. That is on the same page, but you're going to be programming these buttons over here. So once that's there, press enter, and now we can add the remote controls. We can do that either in programming or in the user functions, but let's do that in the user functions. Then we can assign a code for each remote controls. Now the thing about the remote controls is, if you look at your user manual, code number 1 is your master code. So if I program this remote as onto the master code, your arming will operate partition 1 and 2 by default. The same with this arming partition 1 and 2 simultaneous. So if I add the remote control, I will rather start at user number 4. That's all right. Then I can assign specific partition for that remote. So I can put in a user code for this. Let's say 4141. Confirm the code. Press button twice. So you can press any button, press it twice. Now you can go to the next user. So if there's more remotes, you add more of them. So once you've done, you can just go clear. Next we're going to fit a PMD2 passive. We're going to remove the battery pack and we're going to remove the PC board. So we gently undo the clips on top there, take out the pack, and on the PC board carefully loosen that middle screw. Don't unscrew it completely. So if you loosen it a bit, you'll see the board can slide up and down, and we just want to take it out like that. So we're going to put that one aside. Now on a passive, there is many punch out holes that you can select to mount your passive depending on your use. I'm going to mount it in a corner, so I'm going to use 2 of the punch outs on a corner. So take a screwdriver and you're going to need to press hard and punch it through. And just remove that excess plastic there, like that. And the next one, so we've got 2 holes like that. So I'm going to mark for the roller. The ceiling is quite high. I want it roughly about 2.1, 2.2 meters, and it will sit about roughly over here. So put your passive in the corner and move it around so it fits snugly into that corner. And once it's perfect, mark your holes. There. There. Got 2 markings. Let's roll it. You'll see that I'm using a empty box. That's to catch all the dust. You don't want to be drilling and have your walls full of dust. The walls, and now you can fasten it. Okay, passive is mounted, the back plate. So let's fit back the piece board. Let me slot it in. Put the battery. And you notice on the battery connector plug, it can only slot in one way. So just have a look at that when you're doing this. And it's on. You don't need to adjust any settings here unless you want to disable the LED light or something like that. I'm going to set the front cover, hook it on top, and press down. You will see the light will flash. It will go into a walk test mode for a few minutes. Next, we're going to fit a magnetic door contact. On the transmitter, if you look on the side, there's I'm not sure if you can see it there, there is it. It's a small triangle. That's where the reed switch is inside. So your magnet must be either opposite this triangle or on this side for the contact to read that magnet. So if we open it, here you will see that small black, that small black reed switch is in there. Here's the input I was talking about, if you put in your serial number and the +1 on the end. But we're going to use the reed switch. So first, determine the best place to fit your door contact. Now, you can either put the transmitter on the door itself or on the frame. Metal frames, usually I find it that there's no space for the transmitter, so we'll then put it on the door. But in this case, there's enough space to put the transmitter on the frame side and the magnet on the door itself. So let's fasten this contact off. Okay, let's use a Phillips screwdriver for this one. Contact nice and straight. In the store frame I could have used a brown color contact as well, but now the white one's with me. And it's in, and then we're going to fit the battery. Notice the polarity on the batteries. So, put it on. And once it's on, it will start flashing. And it's transmitting. You say that it's active. And then fit the cover back. Your triangle is at the bottom, so you know exactly where to center your magnet. can use wood screws or something shorter. It will make it easier. And then lastly, the magnet. Actually, that's it. Okay, this is like a washroom door, but as you can notice, there's a huge gap here. Putting a contact like this will not work at all. It will be problems and or just will not work. It's too far. So you need to relocate it. Find a narrower space like here. I see here I've got a steel frame and I've got a wood frame this side. So I'm going to put the transmitter side on the wood part. Remember the reed switch is that side, your triangle. So give it enough space for this. There seems to be a bolt loop that comes in there. So I'm going to do it like something like this. So I'm going to fasten it like this. So let's do this. Straight. The metal side I'm going to use glue to fasten the magnet. So. Now the nice thing about this cable glue, it melts PVC basically. So that's going to be too much. So put a little bit and make circular movements. You will see the plastic will become almost like melted and mixed with the glue. I can show you like this. And give it like 20 seconds to dry. In the meantime, I'm going to fit the batteries. The plus on top, minus on top on this side. So let's put the number 1. And the negative side on top. Okay. And then fit the color. Okay, this should be ready. And you can drill holes if you want. But the glue should be nogal strong. That's the way. And then you can clean it up on the sides like that. That's it. Next is to program the remote controls. The white button I'm going to use for arming and disarming. It's connected to relay 1 and to zone 1 on the control panel. That zone I made the momentary key switch. So to add the remote, you're going to press the learn button once. Relay 1 light will come up, and then I press the remote button twice. So starting with the white button. This once, twice. Do that for all the remotes you've got. Okay, this one's already learned. Then press the learn button again, so you will advance to the second relay. Okay, working. Okay, that's all for today. We'll cover modules like the IP module, the 307 module, and the SMS module. We'll cover it in more further videos. As you can see, fitting your own alarm system can take you like 3-4 hours, but you will need planning, and that planning will save you many hours, and eventually you can do a huge size alarm system in like a day's time, easy. Stay subscribed. Thank you. Bye bye.